It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Tuesday morning. It is October the 28th. Very glad to be with you on a Tuesday. Let's get to it. I'm feeling Minnesota. How about some headlines, Paul Fletcher?
All right. Former Vikings legend Adrian Peterson was arrested Sunday morning in Texas on suspicion of drunk driving and unlawfully possessing a weapon. It's Peterson's second drunk driving arrest in almost exactly 6 months. He was arrested in Richfield for drunk driving after attending a Vikings NFL draft party. Remember, he spent 10 seasons here, taken 7th overall in the 2007 draft out of Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, if there's a silver lining, at least he's not driving drunk here anymore. But other than that, come on, dude, get it together.
Yeah, get him an Uber or a Lyft endorsement. This guy needs those apps on his phone.
Yeah.
Hurricane Melissa is expected to hit Jamaica this afternoon. The latest update shows Melissa underwent extreme rapid intensification, strengthening to a rare Category 5. They're talking winds of 175 miles per hour and stronger gusts, making it the strongest storm on the planet this year. The National Hurricane Center warned of a catastrophic flooding with the storm dumping up to 40 inches of rain on the Caribbean island and Haiti before hitting Cuba.
Oh, that's just awful. I've never been in Jamaica, but that doesn't really mean anything other than I have a lot of friends who have spent a lot of time there. And, you know, one thing Jamaica shares with all of those island nations is they're not ready for 40 inches of rain. I can assure you that.
My brother
is going to be really, really rough.
My brother and sister-in-law go almost every year. So, yeah, it's awful for sure. The Bruce Springsteen biopic hit theaters this past Friday. I actually saw it yesterday. I really liked it. I liked the story they chose to tell. I found it to be about a guy who was struggling to find himself, and the making of this album sort of tore that wound wide open. That's what I took from it.
Okay.
But here's what's interesting. There's a soundtrack attached with 5 digital releases that are out now that Jeremy Allen White sings on. And he sings on 5 of them anyway. I mean, I think he did a pretty damn good job.
I was kind of rolling my eyes at first until I heard the original, because I have lost track of how much Springsteen's growl has lowered over 40 years. It was higher for sure back then. If you hear him now, he could never hold that register. But man, well done, kid.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Remember the story that went viral recently? 3 people wearing Halloween masks terrorizing a home in Virginia. Mm-hmm. They were threatening to harm people inside and even tried to break in. Here's a little piece of what they had to say.
Open the door. Either you come out or we coming in. Open the door.
Oh, very purgy sounding.
Absolutely. You know what? Turns out they were relatives of the homeowner. Just a prank.
Of course.
Yeah, just having some fun.
Meanwhile,
it went viral and was a national panic for a second.
Okay, then.
I think they picked the unfun relative. They picked the wrong one to mess with. They should have messed with somebody who was just going to, like, blow it off like it was no big deal.
Or have some suspicion maybe, or, like, just somebody with a better sense of humor, perhaps.
The kitchen in our house when I was like in college, I went home one weekend. The sink, if you're standing at the sink, there was a window right in front of you. Yes. It was on the ground floor, but it was a little higher. You know, it was like a high up ground floor window. A buddy of mine walked outside to get into his car, and we looked into that window, and we saw my brother Doug standing at the sink, like washing a pan, like a saucepan. Yeah. And we were like, oh, my God, let's go freak him out, because it was dark at night. It was bright in the kitchen, and he's in the window, and we walked up, and we stood right under the window, and we, just a tiny bit of a squatting down just so he couldn't look out. But, he can't see anything looking outside into the dark night.
Yeah.
And my buddy Jeff and I looked at each other, and we went, 1, 2, 3, and we both jumped up and went into the window, which was up with just the screen there.
Oh my God!
And in the 3 seconds that it took us to squat down and count, my brother had walked away, and my mom stepped up the window.
Oh no!
And we just about dropped old Imelda. I mean, I honestly thought we'd killed her. She screamed and fell back and ended up in a chair, and man. She was upset, but my brother, who, of course, had just walked away, He came charging out the front door of the house like a white tornado, and I've never run that fast in my entire life to get away from him.
How was the grounding? Was it fun?
Well, I was already in college. It really wasn't a grounding type of situation.
Okay.
It was more like you're not welcome back in my home ever again.
Yeah.
So it was the opposite of grounding. It was you're shunned forever.
Get out of here.
Banished.
Put up a wall around the house.
It's like, I guess I got to buy a drum kit now. It's one of those things.
Mm-hmm. A Minnesota man is facing federal charges after authorities say he posted a video imposing a $45,000 hit on U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Oh.
The complaint notes that Tony Avalos has multi-state convictions, including felony stalking, felony third-degree domestic battery, and misdemeanor domestic assault. So it might be easy to look at a TikTok video and go, but when you've got a history like that, I think it forces authorities to take it seriously.
Well, sure. Yeah. She's the attorney general.
Can't do that.
They take that crap seriously, whether or not somebody has a history.
That's fair.
Make no mistake. Being a little upset by what you see in the news is one thing. Then you know what? Make a sign. Write a letter.
Sure.
Call your congressman.
Yeah. Go peacefully protest.
Crap, crazy people. There's no reason for death threats.
Nope. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, is at risk of being suspended this Saturday after the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced it will not tap its roughly $5 billion contingency fund amid the ongoing federal government shutdown. The agency said the funds are reserved solely for previously appropriated aid and emergencies, meaning they cannot cover benefits for fiscal year 2026 as Congress has not approved full funding. States, including Alabama, have already warned residents that no new benefits will be issued for November until appropriations resume.
Remember that movie, The Sure Thing, with John Cusack from the 80s, Rob Reiner? I think it might have been his first or second film he directed.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they're on this road trip, and Cusack and his soon-to-be girlfriend in the movie, they're in the rain, they're in the cold, they're lost, they're alone, and they have no money. And then she goes, "Oh, my God, I have a credit card." He goes, "You have a credit card?" And she goes, "Yeah, but my dad said it's only for emergencies."
This is an emergency.
And he goes, "Maybe one will develop. Maybe one will appear." Guys, let's keep people with food on the table, for God's sakes.
Yeah, It seems pretty simple. This could be considered an emergency. Pace Magazine has taken it upon themselves to rank the top slasher movies of all time.
All right.
Anybody care to take a guess at what might be in the... I've got the top 6 listed here.
I just always go to Halloween because that was my first slasher movie that I saw. So that's where I always think first.
Ryder?
But,
I definitely want to see Scream in there. I'm assuming that Nightmare on Elm Street is going to be in there. Friday the 13th.
Wow, if we were playing Family Feud, you two would have control of the board because Steve nailed number 1,
nice.
Ryder nailed number 2. Well done. Halloween number 1, Nightmare on Elm Street number 2, Black Christmas. You guys seen that one? That's number 3.
No.
I've never even heard
what
of
Black
it.
Christmas is.
Me neither. It's from 1974.
Oh, no.
Psycho comes in at number 4.
Oh,
Peeping Tom at number 5. Another one I've never heard of.
Huh. That's that Hanks documentary, right? Sorry.
I think it's different.
Yes.
And then you had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre rounding out the top 6.
Should have had that one, too.
I feel like these lists, like Black Christmas and Peeping Tom, it's like a music list where they have to include cool picks. You know what I mean? They can't just go with the ones that are obviously the best. They got to go with cool picks.
So you're saying Peeping Tom is the Velvet Underground of slasher films. Got it.
That might be it.
Makes
that
perfect
might be
sense.
It. Engineers at Nike are working on the world's first powered footwear system.
Oh, my God.
How does this work?
The system, called Project Amplify, features shoes as well as a lightweight motor, drive belt, and battery. The goal is to help everyday athletes walk and run farther and faster with less effort. Think of it like an electric bike for your feet.
An electric bike for my feet?
Okay, so here's the thing. If I'm just going for a walk for heart health, why do I need to go farther and faster? Why can't I just go the speed my body wants me to go? I don't get this.
I think there's a direct line between how far and how fast you have to go and how much Taco Bell have you had lately.
That is accurate.
All the more reason to turn off the powered shoes and make sure your heart gets the job done.
Fair enough.
I think it's just silly. It's nonsense.
Are you trying to score points with your doctor, man? Is he listening this morning?
No, I'm quite sure that I've scored 0 points with him. I just don't understand this.
Let's talk sports, shall we? Last night in the World Series, you are forgiven if you did not make it to the end of the 18-inning third game. The Los Angeles Dodgers are leading 2-1. Freddie Freeman at 11:50 p.m. in Los Angeles hit a home run to finally put the Blue Jays away.
11:50 in Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
So you wait 18 innings and then get the walk-off home run.
Yeah.
The stadium, I mean, the clips, it really is. Whether you care about the Dodgers, and let's not kid ourselves, no one does, or not, it's an amazing thing to see. A few points in this game. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers came up to the plate with the bases empty in the 9th inning and was intentionally walked.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's not happened in a postseason game since 1955. and then 3 more at-bats, walked every time. That's how afraid of Ohtani the Blue Jays are. He became the first player to reach base 7, 8, and finally 9 times in a playoff game.
Holy smokes.
By the way.
That's respect.
By the way, he's the starting pitcher tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
Tonight.
Great.
Tonight. So by the time he stopped celebrating and was addressing the media, it was like, hey, so you're going to pitch tonight? And he's like, yeah, let's go.
By the time he was done celebrating, it was time to warm up his arm.
Last night at the Target Center, the Denver Nuggets, for the first time in a couple seasons, finally got over on the Timberwolves. Remember, 2 years ago, we knocked them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Last year, the Wolves swept all 4 regular season games. Last night, Anthony Edwards on the bench with a hamstring strain, and Jamal Murray was like, hey, Ant-Man's not guarding me? Why don't I score 43 points? That's the difference it makes not having Anthony Edwards in the game. The Joker had a triple-double for Denver, 25, 19, and 10. That's just kind of how he rolls. The Lakers come into town Wednesday. They will not be featuring Luka Doncic or LeBron James. Both will be out. Luka has got a little niggling injury, and LeBron is suffering. I'm reading this here. Oh, he's a drama queen. Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, the Loons got a win last night. A playoff
There we
victory
go.
over the bane of our existence, Seattle. Scoreless after 90. It went to penalty kicks, and the Loons took that 3-2. Seattle, they got to be dying right now. 2 of their penalties hit the post.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, but hey, man, that means the soccer gods, the football gods were waiting for a Loons win and doing what they could to make that happen.
Heck yeah.
Carson Wentz did have season-ending left shoulder surgery.
Man, it's tough.
Check this out. Got to give the guy a quick little prop here. Dislocated that shoulder in the win over the Browns on October 5th. Knew he would need surgery. This is what he played the last 2 weeks with: a torn labrum and a fractured shoulder socket.
Ow.
Not
Okay.
good.
Good job, dude.
God.
Yeah. So anyway, JJ, let's go.
I was
Let's get it
limping,
together, buddy.
I was limping the other day because I had a cracked open piece of dry skin on my foot.
That'll happen.
Yeah, and then there's what Carson went through. That's called real pain. Good
Loretto,
Lord.
Minnesota, a little west of the downtown metro area. A nice place to go right through on your way to somewhere else. Or if you want to hang out with any of the 652 residents, feel free.
Game on.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Fletcher, you have, between the three of us, the most excited household this week. You've got kids
For sure.
who are still of Halloween/trick-or-treating age.
Yes.
Have you guys already stocked up on your candy, the candy you will be giving away?
We're actually a giant buzzkill house. We leave it dark because we're gone trick-or-treating. And the one, and I've tried a couple of times to do the thing where you leave it out, and the Ring Cam has shown me that that's not a good idea because it's gone within about 3 visits.
Sure. So no thought of doing shifts.
No, we enjoy going with, like, we have a whole thing that we do with the oldest daughter's friends, with the parents and all that. We do a little fire pit and hang out and get the trick or treat. We all do it together. So, and it's not even in our neighborhood; it's a ways away, so it's not as easy.
Got
Can
it.
we wander up to the fire pit and get like a trick or drink beverage?
That I still think we should that should be a thing.
Okay.
There should be adult trick-or-treating for sure. There should be beverages,
Wow.
coolers, that kind of thing.
Some people do that.
I know. That it should be more
We could
common.
start.
Yeah, we could start it.
Yeah.
Our Halloween situation in Minneapolis is pretty low key. Get a few, and we have a very little bit of candy. We expect to get a dozen kids tops, just where we are. What about you, Ryder? How's your neighborhood? You guys have to stock up a lot?
No, shocking. Well, we're on a busy street, so the kids are all going to get run over if they trick or treat on our street. So I don't know. We maybe get like 5 or 6 groups of 4. Despite that, Mr. Ryder still bought on Sunday $60 worth of candy.
So your house is going to be a honey hole, basically.
It'll last until New Year's.
But the kids that do show up, it's like a honey hole. They're going to get hooked up.
No, they get 2 pieces.
What?
Those are the
That's
rules.
it.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
Them's the rules, huh?
Well, our neighborhood in Nashville for years, this is, I mean, I haven't been there in 3 years now, but for about 20 years before that, when we got there, it was Halloween Central. It was the neighborhood everybody in town brought their kids to. They had it most figured out.
Lots of pressure.
A lot of pressure. And a lot of other neighborhoods over the 20 years, thankfully, all got their own act together. And so people realized, well, we don't all have to go over there. But the first few years we were there, I am not exaggerating, over 1,000 kids every time.
Wow.
1,000. And our neighbors said, you got to go get like 60 or 70 pounds of candy. And I laughed. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And when we got 30 pounds of candy, the tiny little bites, thinking this is stupid. And we were out of them in about an hour. We were like, oh boy, we screwed this up.
It's in an hour? I mean, so there's not even doorbell ringing. It's just a constant carousel.
Oh no. It's a line. It's like we set up in the front yard. We don't open the door and close the door. We have furniture, a fire pit. We would sit there and they come to us. It's like you're at a nightclub. There's never not someone online on your little sidewalk. Right. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And after a few years, it's unbearable. So
I can imagine.
But so you had so much. But the reason I'm asking about all this, a new poll, CVS claims that the earlier you buy your Halloween candy, the more trouble you'll be in, because people who have already bought their candy tend to eat their way through their stash. Not once, but twice before they make it to the 31st. Now, Now, in the situation I'm describing from our old place, that wouldn't have happened. There's too much. But if you're the kind of neighborhood where you got to go buy a bag or 2 or 3 tops of candy, apparently people go get that stuff mid-month, and then they're back again and again before the day.
Okay, so when you were getting your 30, 40, 50 pounds of candy, would you guys eat through a bag or 2 before?
Oh, no.
No?
Well, no. I mean, I don't. I'm not a crazy candy person. I go about 3 times a year. I'll be like, I'm going to eat a bunch of little candies, and then I'm good. I'm good for months. It's like not even once a quarter.
I wish I had that problem.
Rosemary will be. She's tempted at all times by anything chocolate, but no, we never came close to going through a traumatic amount of our stash. It's just not even an option. It was just more like we put it all over to the side. We know that there's going to be a bunch of goblins coming for our candy, and we had to keep it safe.
The Halloweens that we have had candy, I'm a sweet tooth. I'm closer to Rosemary than I am you. I would be tempted at all times. We've never gone through even close to a bag. Like, that's for Halloween. So I find this poll to be shocking that they go through the stash twice.
Steve, did you ever have to give out something that wasn't candy because you ran out?
No. That's just like, sorry. No, it's just, hey, lights out. Let's go. We're done. The only thing that was the hard part in a neighborhood like that is you do have to keep up with the Joneses in terms of decorations.
Ooh.
After a while. And it was just a few things every year. But when you do that for 10, 12, 13 years, pretty soon, our entire basement was just Halloween crap.
Nice.
And at one point, it's like, what are we doing? Why am I setting? The cemetery was like 24 tombstones deep. The giant tree that had the weird red lights on it, the floating goblin people on the front porch, all the we went, and again, you just don't realize it. It's a slippery slope. A few things this year, we'll get them on sale right after Halloween for next year. Yeah. And then, as I said, then your basement is like, people would think we're Halloween hoarders the way it looked towards the end there.
Well, that's the problem is you kept taking the decorations down, and they should have just been a year-round thing.
That's right. That's where you and Mr. Ryder have got you got the whole system. You got it all figured out.
No clutter.
Very well done. Hey, have either of you guys been out to Vegas to the Sphere yet?
Have not.
No, Mr. Ryder just went and saw that Wizard of Oz deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did
That
he
looks
say
cool.
about it?
He said it was cool, but it's freaking expensive.
Yeah, I had the
that
same
doesn't surprise
report.
me.
A buddy went and said the same thing. Like, it was great, but it was like $150 or something. He was like, I don't know. A movie I've seen my whole life, bigger. Okay, whatever. The Sphere in Las Vegas, the most famous new venue on the planet. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
A lot of artists have played there already. A lot more are lining up. In fact, people are basically kicking down the door to try to get in there. One person who you will not, I should say, see anytime soon, apparently, is Slash. He doesn't feel like Guns N' Roses, now 10 years into a reunion tour, 10 years into a I can't believe they're back together tour, Slash is not thinking that the Sphere is, quote, rock and roll friendly, therefore you don't expect to see the Gunners in there. The fact that he's discussing it tells me there's been an offer made.
Oh.
But maybe I would just assume.
Right.
But he says, hey, man, I'm trepidatious about playing there because it's a great visual show. And I think that in almost every case for a band, it becomes a visual show as opposed to seeing a rock and roll show. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Slash went on to say, also, I was talking to Joe Walsh about it, and he's, it's not really a sort of rock and roll friendly the way it's set up. Right then, Joe Walsh is like, what?
Yeah.
Don't name check me, dude. I got a lot of money I'm trying to pull out of that joint.
Friggin' narc.
Man.
Okay,
But
So what you're saying? So what he's saying is it takes away from the music and focusing on what's going on stage? Because I would think that any band that wants to get really creative could make this really cool.
Well, we're talking about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Also, have you seen Guns N' Roses lately? They need stuff to distract from the visual.
Right. That's why
They're
the Sphere is
slowing
perfect.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so much jungle footage you can watch, though. I mean,
there's a lot of
let's
visuals
just go off the top. You got, because like the Eagles, think about the Eagles or the Dead. I mean, there's so much inherent imagery lyrically and the aesthetic of those bands. With Guns N' Roses, you got some jungle stuff.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, there's a night train. You can get some train footage. God knows we got Paradise City.
Oh yeah.
Sweet child. Think of the baby photos.
Rocket Queen. There's some rocket action. In the world of SpaceX and Blue Note or whatever the hell that's called.
My Michelle just put up famous pictures of famous Michelles.
That
That's
would
what
work.
we got?
That would work.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you know what, Ryder, to your point, anything to distract people from watching whatever that move Axl does. The sort of what used to be a big running surge is now just sort of a trot. But at least he took the kill. At least there's no more kilt.
God, I hate to say it's more like a wobble. It's like a moving wobble,
sure.
really.
Man, you would think that, like to your point, Fletcher, you would think that a lot of bands would jump at the chance to really put a creative spin. But you know what? Honestly, doesn't it make perfect sense that Slash, who still looks great in that top hat, is like, nah, we're cool. What we're going to do? We're just going to get up there and plug in and be really loud and rock. Good for you,
that's
Slash.
fair.
It does make sense, but I mean, there are people that are paid and educated now to enhance your shows.
Of course,
there are people that could come up with some pretty creative stuff, some pretty awesome imagery around GNR.
Are they drug dealers?
I don't think so.
No, but they've got them on speed dial.
No, but they probably went to MIT or something. I mean, I don't know.
Ever been to a gig where you went there, maybe you even had a great time, but later you were like, it just seemed like it was too much. The production was over the top. Too much with the lights, too much with the graphics, too much with the lasers and the fog and the bubbles and the whatever. I mean, think about that for a minute. Ever seen a show that had too much? Now, at the Sphere, I don't know if there is such a thing as too much.
No.
That's kind of the point. But otherwise, ever been to a show where you walked out and went, well, I wish I could remember the music. I was just too busy freaking out over the lighting director having a nervous breakdown. Oasis is a band that does nothing live. They stand on stage. They are statues.
Right.
And I saw the show this year, and they had an amazing bunch of visuals on stage. It didn't overpower the band at all.
Okay.
It was the perfect boost, if you will, to the mood. I mean, the fans are going crazy regardless. Oasis is a band that could play in a field without a single spotlight, and their fans would be thrilled.
Sure.
But they really had a great, and it's hard to even describe, but it was really, really effective and very understated, and somehow that made more sense. I don't know that would translate in the sphere. But so the question is, did you ever go to a show where you just thought there was way too much going on? It was almost a distraction to the music. Ryder, anything come to mind?
Well, I mean, I will bring my aviators with me and put them on during shows because the light show gets to be a lot, and I get made fun of. But the one that sticks out, and this one was like technical error, but a few weeks after the Palace opened, I went and saw the Jesus and Mary chain there, and they put out so much fog that it set off the smoke detectors.
Oh, my God.
That's
great. And I mean, I think it was a little cooler out, so nobody left the building. We're like, we know the place is not on fire. But, but yeah, so yeah, there was a little much.
You didn't get sprinkled on?
No, the sprinklers didn't go off. That would have been a whole nother ball of wax.
Man, I love the idea of the light guy, the production manager standing there. Should we go with more fog? Give it a little bit more. Give it a bit more. You want to push the limits on what a fog can do, man. Go. More fog. I pushed the fog to 11 and all hell broke loose.
It did.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's funny because nothing really comes to mind other than, I mean, just not a specific thing. But yeah, there are shows where I wish I had aviators. There are definitely shows when I find myself not only putting my fingers in my ears, but looking down at my feet. And I'm like, I just have that vision. I will say this. Anytime anybody's ever at a rock and roll show and you look around in the house and the lights are going crazy and there's a chick in the middle with her aviators on, all you think is, who's that chick?
Yeah, that weirdo is me.
So that's a good look, Ryder. I mean, trust me, you're getting attention whether you mean to or not.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, look at her. She's so cool. She doesn't care.
Right by the soundboard.
Spectacular. Fletcher, anything?
You know what? Yeah, the first time we went and saw Justin Timberlake, it was kind of I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. It was kind of the dawn of this new arena/stadium show where everything had to be big. And it's like they hadn't quite had everything figured out yet. It was more of like, let's just throw all these lights at people. And we have a riser, it was like I don't know, it was like a runway in Paris, except it went like 10 feet, 15 feet in the air. But it was just overload on lights. It was sort of like they were still searching for trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do with big arenas at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That didn't enhance D in the box?
Well, I mean, part of it, too, is that, I don't hate pop music, but I was not super excited to be there. I was being a side piece because the wifey wanted to go. And so I was not super excited, and I probably maybe didn't look at the lights from the right perspective.
My favorite light story was in the early 80s, Van Halen. They, at the end of the night, like on the very last downbeat, like after a whole crazy show, Eddie's been going berserk. You know, Van Halen in the early 80s was as good as it got in arena rock.
Hell yeah.
On the very last downbeat, bow, they would blast so many incredibly white, bright lights out into the crowd, and you would see the VH logo was in the lights, and the entire point of it, and it worked, was it burned that into everyone's eyes for a few minutes. You would close your eyes and see VH. I was like, wow. I mean, that in a more litigious time could have been problematic. I was blinded by my favorite band, but in the 80s, it was all just good, innocent fun and rock and roll.
It was meant to probably look like the white lights, like you were going to the pearly gates. You were staring at heaven.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. It did the job, man. Fantastic stuff right there. 651-989-ROCK. If you've got any thoughts on overkill with production, let us know.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
651-989-ROCK. That's the place you can let us know what you got. Robert in Sandstone is on the horn. Robert, good morning.
Good morning. I used to live in a house. When you were in the basement, you could hear people walking around on the first floor.
Okay.
And when you're on the first floor, you could hear people walking around upstairs. You could hear them walking around on the deck of the house.
So creepy.
Wow.
Robert, where were you living at this time?
In a house in Richfield, right over by Ridge Hill Mall.
Okay, so you're saying the house was empty, but you could still hear the footsteps.
Oh, yeah. I was the only one in the house. You could hear somebody walking around upstairs.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
Did anybody else that lived there hear the same thing?
The house was under construction. It was a new build.
No way.
Wow. Huh.
So
Man, that's one of those
weird.
newfangled new ghosts. Okay. I've heard about them.
Must have been
That's
a
a
union
good one.
guy.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate the call. Growing up in my town, the people that ran the theater group we were all a part of, they had one of those houses. They would swear you could hear, they called him Harvey. He would walk up and down the hallways upstairs, and I would hear things, but being a Brady Bunch aficionado, I was like, oh, the house is just settling. I know how that works.
He's just
You know
doing.
what I mean? I never bought in.
Harvey's just doing pre-inspection.
That could very well have been it.
Yeah, for sure.
A few text messages, Paul Fletcher, but I'm going to let you choose them because we got a lot.
Okay. Wally said in 1997, I was in Gettysburg for Boy Scouts. I was 13, staying at the University of Gettysburg dorms. They were field hospitals during the Civil War. I never saw anything, but you never felt like you were alone. It was the eeriest feeling.
Ooh.
I could imagine that. Yeah, sure. Field hospital at the site of the Gettysburg battle. Good God Almighty. Yeah, no kidding.
This one hits close to home. This is Elsie, Fletcher's daughter. She's the one that just turned 13. When I was maybe 7, 8, I was playing in the basement and I saw this black shadow that kept peeking around the corner. I told it to go away. Keep in mind, she's just playing on the floor.
Right.
And it would not leave me alone. I got really scared. Made my mom come down to check the basement. She never saw anything, but it freaked me out.
Okay.
Now, what happened on your end when she told you this? Did you believe her story, or did you kind of do the dad brush off the house is settling thing?
We always try to validate all of their stuff unless it's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, we validated it.
Okay.
My wife Spencer says on a regular basis she still gets nightmares about that, and she doesn't talk about it much, but she sees shadow figures somewhat regularly.
Oh.
So yeah. So my wife definitely took it seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the house you're in now?
No, it's the house we were in before this.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually my favorite house we ever owned, but I think that they're happy to be out of it.
I was going to say, yeah, that house's days were numbered right away. It was like, okie doke.
Yeah.
So much for this one.
Steve, what about yours?
I was at a friend's house. This is 20 some odd years ago, 2003 or maybe even 2004. We lived in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And right down the street, like 4 houses down, our good friends Jared and Courtney, they had a couple little kids just the same age as ours.
Yeah.
And they had a big cookout. Bunch of people in the backyard. Lovely afternoon. And I'm over there. We are all, my family's there. And I'm in the backyard and I'm talking with Jared. It's his house. And I said, I'm going to go get another beer. And he said, get me one too. And I said, you're on. And I walked into the kitchen out of the backyard. And as I crossed to go to the giant cooler that was full of bottles of beer, I recognized just out of the corner of my eye, like peripherally, I saw a woman standing at the sink. Like she, and I had just kind of walked right past her quickly. I didn't bump into her, but it was kind of close. It was one of those things where like, oh, I didn't know you were here.
Sure.
And I turned to go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. And out of the corner of my eye, what I saw was an older woman standing at the sink, and she had what looked like a red bandana or something like that, or a cloth like on her head.
Yeah.
The way back from the old country, someone would just cover their hair with like a bandana. And as I spun to say, I'm sorry, there was nobody there. And I went, what? That was really weird. And I felt very deeply inside, like, no, that's something. There's something. I saw somebody.
Wow.
It wasn't just silly me. I mean, I really had a feeling, too, of something is here. Someone is here. And I got 2 beers, and I walked out the back door, and Jared looked at me, and clearly I had something on my face because he goes, are you okay? And I went, dude, the weirdest thing just happened. I go, I just walked into your kitchen, and I swear to God, standing at the sink, and he goes, a little old lady with like a red thing on her head.
Oh, my God.
I kid you not. And I looked at him, and he laughed. He goes, Sadie sees her all the time. Sadie was his 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, my God.
And he goes, we've never seen her. We've never seen her. Sadie sees her all the time.
Oh, no.
And I went, okay, well, I'm going to go home now, and I'm going to freak out. I didn't, actually. I think I had 19 more beers because I couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
But and so that's clearly a real thing because there was no setup. There was no way that could be a shtick.
There's no way for you to know that the 3-year-old had seen that. Yeah.
And it was a blink of an eye. Boom. She was gone. I'd never heard anyone talk about it. And it was just a, oh my God type of moment. And so I truly believe that woman exists, that ghost, that spirit, that poltergeist. But all the rest of them, nah.
So after the 19 beers, did you go anywhere near the kitchen again?
I was in that kitchen again several times, yes. I really wasn't freaked out about it because again, it wasn't someone standing there with a chainsaw. It was just a woman like at the sink. So it wasn't, she did not present a scary presence. It was just the idea that I caught wind of something that a 3-year-old was seeing regularly. And then, of course, having seen Poltergeist, they're here. All that's going through my head. It's pretty intense.
Chilling, to say the least.
Yes, it certainly was.
So in all the other times you went, you never saw
No. That was
again.
it. That was it.
Maybe you should have grabbed her a beer and she would have hung around more.
You know what? 1/10 of 1 second, and that's all it took. And believe me, I did look for her. There were times I'd be like, I wonder if I could get her. And rolling around the corner, and she was never there.
Wow. That's crazy.
She was onto my shtick right from the jump. Oh, we've all got paranormal activities to share. Most Americans say they have had a paranormal experience, and that certainly seems to be the case on the talk and text line. Paul Fletcher, what do we got?
Yeah, this one says, this happened 3 times back in the early 90s. I lived alone in an apartment, laying in bed, and it felt like someone was pushing me down into the bed, and I was completely frozen. Couldn't move my arms or sit up. I tried as hard as I could to scream, but no sound came out.
Ooh.
It was incredibly scary. I thought I was dreaming the first time, but once it happened again, I knew it wasn't a dream. Never happened again after I moved from that apartment. That's from Vicky.
Man.
Yeah.
Sometimes, Vicky, the universe is actually talking to you.
Yes.
And it's saying, get the hell on out.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's the right move right there. The Minnesota Wild have a game tonight at home against the Winnipeg Jets, or as I call them, those bastard Jets. And we got tickets right here, and we'd love to send you to see them. So, in order to do that, it's only appropriate that we play a game. And as it is Tuesday, it is Wisconsin, Texas, Florida Day, WTF.
Yeah.
Riders edition. Riders going to share 3 news stories with us, and then you will have a chance to pick which state each story went down in. Wisconsin, Texas, and or Florida. It doesn't have to be one of each. It could be all 3 from the same, but the answer is either Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida. The first caller who gets all 3 correct will win tickets. Ryder, please take it away.
Okay, here we go. Very interesting Halloween display happening.
She said it's not your typical spooky decor. This one's got skeletons in suggestive poses, a pole, and it's all out in the open where kids walk to school. So, of course, we had to come see it for ourselves.
Gabriella, who lives says she sees it as all in good fun.
Woohoo! Woohoo! No problem. Let's have something fun.
A little pole dancing happening.
But not everyone in the neighborhood agrees. In addition to the anonymous tip, we found heated debates on the neighborhood's social media page. One poster said, "I don't see stripping as art, whether it's skeletons or cartoons." Another responded, "If you want to see it as sexual, that's your take. Does it show the skeleton removing clothes? How do you know if it's a female or male skeleton?" One resident even contacted the Homeowners Association, which replied, "Unfortunately, the HOA cannot do anything about this. Halloween decorations are allowed, and residents can put up whatever holiday decorations they prefer." The HOA advised that the offended neighbor should wait until Halloween is over next weekend, when the display will come down.
You know what? Maybe it's the one time that an HOA hasn't been a buzzkill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Put that document in the Smithsonian if that's the case, because holy cow.
You say HOA, and I think back to The Sopranos, and somebody's going, "Look at that whore." Anyway.
Okay, so we got a whole Halloween display of skeletons that set up like a night at the strip club, and neighbors are complaining. There's number 1. Here is your second. They got real dramatic with this at the news station.
Thief thinks he swipes a car and gets away, except he's busted by a baby.
First up, caught on camera, a county man steals a car only to discover there's a baby in the back seat. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
Hi, everybody. I'm Luann Sorrell. This new surveillance video from a gas station shows that crime that was foiled by a 1-year-old in the rear view mirror. Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live for us in now. So, Esther, what did the suspect say after returning that car?
Luann, he allegedly said he was sorry and he wouldn't have taken that vehicle if he knew there was a baby in the back seat. Now, this alleged car thief didn't get very far. In fact, he didn't leave this parking lot. He was trying to get out of the area fast and turn right over here. But then he saw that baby in the back seat, so he started to back his car up and actually parked it where he found it. Caught on camera, an alleged car theft turned kidnapping.
It's just crazy. What is this world coming to?
Here you can see a man in black hanging around the store for a bit, then he goes out of frame. Deputies say William Mullis stole this blue car and tried to bolt, but backed up when he saw there was a 1-year-old still in the car.
God knows what would have happened with that baby.
The woman running out of the store is the child's mom, who confronted him about allegedly stealing her car and kid. Thankfully, the 1-year-old is okay, and deputies found Mullis fast.
It was scary. Very, very, very scary.
Okay, no harm, no foul. They did haul that guy off to jail, though.
Sure.
So if that helps you decide.
Yeah, I would hope so.
When Marley was born in 2002, we lived in Los Angeles, and in our part of town, there was like a rash of car thefts off the street. Yeah. So I always left her in the back seat, and nobody ever took the car. I mean, it's a great crime deterrent. Just leave your babies in the car.
I would work against me. Okay. All right. And finally,
it's like you're like Dracula with garlic, only it's a baby. No.
And finally, here we go. Very Halloween themed. This one's all about the brains.
Curiosity got to me, so I popped it open, and it looked like a chicken breast, kind of.
Now an alarming discovery at a beach in a man unwraps tinfoil, find what looks like a brain. Our big story tonight at 9. We're going to start with a weird one. A brain found on the beach? That's the question police are trying to figure out.
As Fox 6's Bill Miston explains, police hoping to not only figure out the what or the who, but the why as well.
Police are still trying to figure out if the brain that was found here along the beach is human or not. But for the man who found it, still hard to believe.
Right in this area.
Jimmy Senda says you never know what you'll find along the shoreline. Each morning, the construction worker takes a stroll on the beach.
Collecting sea glass and random stuff because I like to do artwork at home with just stuff that I find.
But what he found Tuesday morning?
I don't even know how to explain it. It didn't register as a human brain. I was just like, what is this?
Definitely out of the ordinary.
I came across the square package wrapped in aluminum foil, and around it had a pink rubber band. So curiosity got to me, so I popped it open, and it looked like a chicken breast, kind of. So I was like, it took a little bit for it to really, what was going on. It was a brain.
Senda says he found some city employees working nearby and asked them the same question.
And they're like, yeah, that's a brain.
Senda then called police.
And they said, yeah, it looks like a brain.
Senda, who normally walks the beaches farther north, says it's been a while since he'd been to Park. And on some level, he's glad he went.
Because there's a lot of kids and family that are down here.
Oh, boy.
And what happens if a kid would have found it?
Ooh. Police telling Fox 6 that the brain isn't believed to be human, but are waiting on official confirmation from the County Medical Examiner's Office. Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
Okay, that's a Cirque du Soleil level of contortion to make yourself the hero here. What if a kid had found it? Can I get a blue ribbon, please? Dude, relax. And I love that he goes, I don't have the words to describe it. No, you described it pretty well, bud. Actually, you did have the words. You just told the story of exactly how it happened.
Oh, not a human brain. Maybe it was a Sasquatch brain.
Could have been.
Yeah, hard to tell because they pixelated the brain out. They won't let us look at it.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to see brain.
Oh, my gosh. I would be thrilled if the follow-up story was like, actually, it was chicken breast.
That would be. They just, somebody forked it, yeah.
Okay, there you have it. Good batch of stories, Ryder. You got some Halloween stripping. You got a baby in the back seat. You got a chicken breast / brain on the beach. I like all three. Apparently, Rick from Shakopee is the man with the plan. He's got all the answers.
Okay, here we go. First one up was the Halloween skeleton stripper display. Fletcher, where do you think that?
been Florida.
Wait. I didn't hear it. I talked over it. Did you hear it, Fletcher? I didn't hear what he said. Sorry.
I did not hear it.
My bad.
What
Okay.
was your guess there?
You got strippers and skeleton strippers anyway. It sounds like a toy display. Not that big of a deal. Delicate sensibilities. Wisconsin was my guess.
Okay.
I hear strippers. I immediately think the Sunshine State of Florida. So I'm going with Florida.
Okay, Rick, what was the answer?
Florida.
There you go.
It was Florida.
All right, there's one for Steve.
Oh,
all right.
Good start.
Fair enough.
Okay, next we have the car thief who aborts as soon as he finds out that there's a baby in the backseat. Fletcher, what are you thinking?
With nutty crime stories, for me, my internal default is always just set to Florida. So I'm going with Florida.
All right.
Whereas I am thinking about that hearty Midwestern, just can't commit the crime. There's an extra element I wasn't expecting, so I'm going to say Wisconsin.
Okay. Rick?
It would be Florida.
Ooh, nice.
All right, got one.
Again with Florida.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay, and then finally, brains on the beach. Fletcher, what you got, man? Or maybe chicken. I don't know.
I think I read something recently that might have tipped me off. Actually, I read that Jeffrey Dahmer misplaced a couple lunch boxes during his wave of mutilation. So I'm going with Wisconsin.
Okay, Steve.
Wow, Wisconsin. So Lake Michigan Beach, then I guess.
Or any lake.
I'm gonna go Texas. I'm just gonna say it was on the Gulf, down there in the Gulf of Mexico.
Rick?
Well, I think that was a trick question because you would think Florida or Texas, but no, I believe it was Wisconsin.
Yes!
Wow! Strong.
Yeah.
It's true. It was a lunchbox discarded by Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Man, fair enough. All right,
Nice
Rick,
work.
you got the tickets, brother. Nice job. You got 2 for the Jets and the Wild tonight over at the Grand Casino Arena. Congratulations. Well done, Ryder. Very well done indeed.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It's time for the last word.
All right.
Yesterday, the world of music lost the great Jack DeJohnette. He was 83 years old, one of the greatest jazz drummers, not to mention pianists and a lot of other things we've ever seen. He played on classic albums by Miles Davis, McCoy Tyner, Herbie Hancock, so many others. Wow. This is a guy that drummers all hold in the absolute highest regard. Okay. And I'm going to give Jack the last word of the day. Here's something from a recent interview. As a child, I listened to all kinds of music, and I never put them into categories. I had formal lessons on piano, but I listened to opera, country and western, rhythm and blues, jazz, swing, whatever. To me, it was all music, and it was all great. I've always kept that integrated feeling about music. All types of music, I've just carried it with me throughout my life. I maintained the belief and feeling that in spite of the ongoing trend to try and compartmentalize people and music, it's all music. It's all great.
Nice.
Wow.
Godspeed, Jack.
Yeah.
Like everything he ever played, perfectly stated.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.